Then this one is 24. This one just got out of the Marines. Then 16, 18, 16, and my 13-year-old. That was him after yesterday. He did this warrior run.
Oh.
It raises money for wounded warriors.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
really?
He coaches the Special Olympics too.
Oh.
It's like the perfect. I have wine, I have Diet Coke, and I have coffee. You want coffee?
No, my grandchildren.
And I have coffee and I have tea.
Emily and Tegan. 3. He's 3 and she's 1. Your son is going in April 1st.
My sister's son is at Fort Benning as we speak, getting ready.
He's going in the Army.
Really?
He's leaving for boot camp Army. He's going in. I think his the job he wants is paratrooper.
Okay.
So
So he's going where?
I don't know where he would be going to boot camp, but he's leaving from Michigan.
Okay.
April 1st.
Well, my nephew left. He started in mid-January at Fort Benning, and he'll be there 4 months of boot camp. And I asked my sister if she wanted to participate, but she said no, not. Maybe later on.
They're in the first stages of accepting their children's choices.
Yeah, she's accepted it fine. And I think you said that you had accepted it. Okay.
I was initially terrified,
You were.
of course, because we're in wartime. And I did. It took some time, and I think that it helped to get involved in organizations that support the troops, just to be around like-minded people.
Did that really help?
Yes, it did. I'm still involved in those
No,
organizations.
I know. You sent me a name the other day.
Perdón, que ella pidió ayuda.
Ella, sí, y ella se involucró mucho con los grupos de apoyo. Y dice ella que la ayudó muchísimo, muchísimo. Yeah.
Is here in Miami? Local?
Some are local, some are nationwide.
That will be interesting for me too. You can send me the... No, I didn't know about that.
You didn't know about?
No, nothing.
You didn't know there were support
No.
groups?
Somebody told me about time ago, but I didn't know in Miami local group. I didn't know.
Yeah,
They didn't mention me to me.
Yeah, no.
You forgot.
There's probably more than one, I would
Florida
think.
has
Oh,
the highest
that's
number
good.
of active military in the country.
You said that to me
Yes,
once.
they
Really?
do. Yes, they do.
Florida.
Florida.
Any other state has more.
The highest number
Mari, ¿no te
of
interesó
active,
pensar
probably the
en
highest number of retirees too.
Claro que sí.
Interesting, yeah.
But definitely we have the
Pero no
highest
sabía
number
que
of
existía.
active duty military.
I didn't know that.
Why do you think this is so?
El estado que más tiene es la Florida.
I don't know. Opportunity,
Or lack
Right.
of opportunity in the state, and that would be...
Yes.
right.
That would make
Opportunity
sense.
in the military. And also that's a good way for young men to get and women to get their citizenship. That's what happened with our Cub Master.
But I wonder what the percentage is of Hispanic soldiers from Florida.
Here, I would say that they're definitely in the majority. Our demographics here
From
are, well, at least for South Florida.
Yeah, well, definitely for South Florida.
It would be interesting to know
Yeah.
what is the
Yeah,
reason.
just for out of curiosity, I'd like to know that. Well, you know, my situation was a little bit different. So I didn't even bother looking for a support group because I figured there were no support groups, and I don't think there really are for mothers of NGOs, mothers of journalists who go
Still
over.
in harm's way.
Very much in harm's way and still in harm's way, and mothers of diplomats. I mean, they have to be out there, but I had, I just assumed there were no support groups. So I would go to class where she and I are in the same art group, and I would get there, and there would be Mary, serene, you know, she was always like zen. And she has two sons that are serving, that are still serving.
Multiple tours.
And then I would get there, and my son would have just left for the Middle East. And I was like a basket case, and I would come and I would see you, and you were always like so relaxed and so in control. So she actually, believe it or not, calmed me down and helped me. But it's very difficult.
It is.
It's very difficult.
Why do you think that you seem so calm?
Do you know, I am involved in the spiritual group that helped to me a lot. Spiritual retirement,
Like
los retiros espirituales.
Okay.
Oh, retreats, spiritual retreats.
That's one is a year, and they help me.
Did they help?
I go into the meditation every day.
That helps.
It's good for me.
Did anybody in the groups know what you were dealing with?
Yes.
Oh, they did?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
They constantly, they call me and they ask me how my children are.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
No, of
Always
course
ask for my kid and you.
Of course.
Yes, that helps.
Yeah, it does help.
Yeah,
It's amazing, but it does help because it makes you realize, or it confirms at any rate, that it's not just us. You know, that there are other people that are aware that our kids are in harm's way.
And you have so many conflicting, you know, just about us even being there. And of course, it's someone else's war until our children are there.
Yeah,
And then that's quite a different scenario to deal with.
that's right. That's right. And so, and I was against the war. Absolutely, I felt like this just wasn't the right thing for us to do. However, it's very hard for someone that's not inside of this to understand, but sometimes your political feelings are pushed to the back. And what becomes most important is your child's welfare and the welfare of all the other soldiers.
It's true.
That becomes your focus. And
When?
oh no, of course. I think almost any mother that you speak with would want the war to end tomorrow.
And on the flip side, you have that feeling of respect for your child.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
your child's an adult. Your child's made a decision that's very brave. I mean, whether you agree with being over there or not, you just have this immense pride that they're that courageous and that they really believe in what they're doing,
No, they do.
and that supersedes any political, ideology. It's you're just very proud. You're very
good
proud.
point. Being in this difficult situation that they're in, and I don't know.
I think it depends on each
Yeah.
soldier or Marine,
Yeah.
or whatever branch they're in, their personality choose to use as a coping
Yeah.
mechanism. And
I think the Marine are more make joke about that, the Marine. Because
Really?
they feel they are the stronger, the best.
Really?
And they can make.
Yeah.
My son that happened with my son.
Really?
Sometimes él hace bromas, el mayor.
Claro. Exactly.
Not when he's talking about
Ah, okay.
what's going on over there, and not. Then he gets very serious and doesn't talk a lot about it.
Okay.
mine he hasn't really told me much of anything. I mean, he was featured in a newsletter over there, where they interviewed him, and he, involved himself in a lot of positive things over there. But as far as the whole experience, he hasn't said much to me, about it, and I don't pry because
No.
he's smart enough to talk
No.
to someone if he needs to do that. I know he's more concerned about the ones that don't come home or the ones that come home wounded. So I know that he does continue to be part of organizations that help.
Well, clearly what he's doing now. Of the risks that other people take and the dangers that they face. First he would say the typical, oh, I can walk out the door and I could get hit by a car, you know, and I said, don't say that anymore, because that doesn't work with me. It's hard for them to come home